What it do? Bedtime crew. Hey man, listen, today I am here to give you guys my full card predictions for UFC Fight Night London. We got Leon Edwards, bro, I don't know what I'm doing, bro. We got versus Sean Brady. We've got legendary Polish power. We got Jan Blachowicz on the card. We got Carlos Ulberg. We've got Kevin Holland, Molly McCann, Jordan Vucenic, I know him. And the rest are nobodies. But hey, man, let's get into this, dude. Let's go down to the prelims. Let's get it going. Oh, Jai Herbert as well. How could I forget Jai Herbert, dude? First fight on the card, we've got Kutateladze versus Kavanagh Fernandez. I'm going to be picking Guram to win this fight by boring, pretty clear decision. I think Kutateladze is just a little bit higher level than Kavanagh Fernandez. He's beat pretty decent guys in the UFC. He's also fought only tough fights in the UFC. Even with the losses that he's had, they're like close decisions and shit like that. So I think beating Jordan Vucenic was a pretty good win, especially on kind of short notice. I trust Kutateladze to win this fight by decision, especially with his grappling. I think the striking will be kind of competitive. I think Guram's going to be a little bit sharper, especially with like elbows and shit like that. And I think he's going to be able to cause more damage and then mix in wrestling and get a pretty clear decision. I'm going to say 30-27 decision. I just want to let you guys know right now, this fucking UK card, dude, half of these guys, and I know decision machines. I'm a decision machine myself. This is going to be a lot of fucking decisions, man. Get ready to watch 7 hours of fighting, man. This is going to be a lot of decisions, all right? Next fight on the card, we've got Nathan Fletcher versus Loughran, all right? I'm sure someone's probably crashing out in the comments that I didn't pronounce this guy's name exactly as he wants it pronounced. I'm going to be picking Nathan Fletcher to win this fight by decision. These guys actually fought each other as amateurs. Now, people forget, man, Nathan Fletcher, these guys fought as amateurs, dude. Nathan Fletcher won by decision. I believe in this matchup with a huge reach advantage and a very good grappling game. This guy trains with Paddy that nobody talks about, lad. This guy trains with fucking Paddy the Baddy. You know what I mean, lads? Nathan Fletcher's going to be able to mix in the wrestling. I think he's going to be able to jab up Loughran at range, who's probably just going to trudge towards him. I mean, listen, I respect the trudge, but Nathan Fletcher's going to be able to use his reach, and I do think that he's going to be well-rounded, technical, mix in the grappling, and I just don't like the way Loughran fights, dude. Like, he got not only beat by Jake Hadley, who's a flyweight, but pretty, like, convincingly pieced up and just kind of walked towards him with the zesty kind of Colby Covington style. So I think Loughran is tough. He's a blockhead. He definitely fits in that category, but Nathan Fletcher's just a little bit more technical, I would say. And I think he's going to be able to mix things up well and get a decision victory. Probably 29-28. Who fucking knows, right? Next up on the fight, we are all going to be watching this. It's 3 a.m. for me. Dude, we are going to be watching this. We will be setting the alarms to watch Tomar redeem a fucking right hand upside Shauna Bannon's head. Bro, what is this fight, dude? What is Shauna Bannon doing in the UFC, man? Tomar, bro. I'm going to be picking Shauna Bannon. I just can't pick Tomar to win. Look at her reach, bro. 149.9 centimeters. What the fuck is that, dude? That's a crazy reach. How's your reach shorter than you? Like, how is your reach shorter than your height? Regardless, I'm picking Shauna Bannon to win by decision. I will not be watching this fight, but I hope Shauna Bannon wins because I picked her. I don't care. All right, next fight on the card, we've got Christian Leroy Duncan versus Andre Pulyaev. Does this not look like a Matchroom boxing main event? Does this not sound like something a hardcore... Dude, you watching Leroy Duncan versus Pulyaev this weekend? I absolutely can't wait to watch Leroy Duncan versus Pulyaev on DAZN. Like, that's what this fucking sounds like. But Puliev's a Contender Series NPC. Like, he's one of these guys that you don't remember seeing him on Contender Series. You watched Contender Series. I know I did. You watched Contender Series. You remember some guys. You do not remember Andre Pulyaev ever existing. This guy just spawned in the UFC with a decision win on Contender Series that nobody watched. And I'm not picking him to beat Christian Leroy Duncan. Like, CLD's pretty good. I think he's at that level outside the top 15 where he could be beating guys like Eric Anders and Brad Tavares and guys that are just outside of that top 15. And I think this is the type of fight that bounces him back well from losing to RoboCop, losing to Obama. You know, there's no shame in losing to... Dude, there's no shame in losing to Obama, bro. He went back-to-back. There's no shame in losing a decision to Barack Obama. Christian Leroy Duncan is going to bounce back in this fight. Using his speed, using his grappling as well. I just think he's more well-rounded and just more experience and just better. Like more UFC ready. It's in the UK as well. If it's a close fight, it's going to go to Christian Leroy Duncan by fucking decision. Maybe he gets a TKO. Maybe. But I'm feeling like this is going to be a lot of decisions on this card. I'm going to say CLD wins this one pretty clearly though. Okay. Next up, genuinely my main event. You know, I can't wait for the in-between rounds where hopefully we get to see Tom Aspinall fucking jump in there. You know, Mick, the thing about Marcin Tybura, you know, he's a great fighter, but you need to go out there and land a 1-2 down the middle and sleep him. I think Marcin Tybura is going to win this fight, dude. I've said my piece about Mick Parkin. People glaze this guy. I genuinely don't understand. I do not understand the glaze. And a lot of these undefeated fighters in 2025 are losing their O. Like every single card we're seeing undefeated guys lose. I think Marcin Tybura is going to take this kid's O. I think Mick Parkin is like a slick little boxer. He's got some decent, you know, non-ploddy footwork. He's still built like a fucking Jello cup, as is most of the heavyweight division. Marcin Tybura is actually good. I was kind of recency bias gaslit into thinking of picking Mick Parkin. Then I remembered the people that beat Marcin Tybura are Tom Aspinall, right? Guys of that level. Otherwise, he's taken these blobs down. He's beating them up with elbows on the ground. He's pushing a pace. He has good submissions. He has pretty decent, like, crafty boxing. Like, I wouldn't say he has good boxing, but he's good at kind of slipping his head and landing these big winging kind of combos and not getting chinned by every single person in the heavyweight division. Like, there are genuinely heavyweight guys, even ranked guys. I would say, dude, if you stand with anybody, you're fucked, right? But Marcin Tybura, I think against a guy that's more of a decision machine and not really a powerhouse, like Mick Parkin, I think he'll get jabbed up at range a little bit, and then I think he'll just bull run into this guy and just take him down. So I'm going to say Marcin Tybura gets us going with a finish. I think he's going to get a ground and pound TKO in round 2 or round 3, or I could see Marcin Tybura winning a pretty like dominant round 2 and 3 decision. I'm going to say Marcin Tybura picks this one up. I think that he's going to expose kind of the gas tank and the kind of the layup fights that Mick Parkin's had. And just, like, I just walk through his fucking pitter-patter shots. I think that's really the key to this. Like, you have to have power to beat Marcin Tybura. And I don't know what this guy's takedown defense looks like. He's fighting literal cans and blobs. And he's literally Chris Dorcas without any of the power. I'm picking Marcin Tybura to win this fight, dude. All right. What do we got? We got Loughran Kavanagh versus Felipe dos Santos. Dude, I really want to pick Felipe dos Santos. I just said about the undefeated guy. I really want to pick. You know what, dude? Fuck this. I'm picking Felipe dos Santos. Fuck this. I'm picking Felipe dos Santos. I think he's going to win the decision. I think Felipe dos Santos is going to use his boxing. I think that he's probably going to get rocked at some point, but he has a good chin. Like, he actually has a very good Oliveira type style. He's pretty dumb off his back. That does worry me that Loughran Kavanagh will be able to wrestle him and maybe win a crafty kind of decision. Ah, fuck, dude. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Because Felipe dos Santos, he has all the physical attributes that I think he could really fraud check Loughran Kavanagh. I could see him like landing calf kicks, landing jabs, front kicks, you know, threatening submissions, maybe mixing in his own takedowns. Like, he's really fucking good, but he has these dumb moments where he just sells the fight so badly. And I could see Loughran Kavanagh being able to, like, win a very close decision against him. Oh, fuck, dude. I'm going to pick, I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to pick Loughran Kavanagh by decision. But I'm really fence-sitting hard on this one, dude. I'm not going to lie. I do think Felipe dos Santos is a pretty rough matchup for him, but he's very dumb. He does go for submissions off his back. I think Loughran Kavanagh is going to be able to smudge him a little bit if he needs to, and I think he's going to have a power and striking advantage and a speed advantage. On the feet, he's going to be a little bit more technically sound. Felipe dos Santos is dangerous, but he's pretty wild, and I think he'll slow down a little bit as the fight goes on and just make dumb decisions. I'm going to say Loughran Kavanagh crafts up a close little decision. That's what I'll say, all right? Headlining the prelims, we've got Jai Herbert, Ilia Toporia's worst fucking nightmare versus Chris Padilla. I kind of fuck with Chris Padilla, dude. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to pick Chris Padilla to win this fight because Jai Herbert, basically to win a fight as Jai Herbert, you have to win by decision. You have to win by 29-28 decision where you just jab and teep at range, like on the back foot as well. It's not like a Strickland kind of walk them down, teep them, jab them. It's a back foot, dart around on the outside type of deal. And against Chris Padilla, who is a finisher, like this guy's not winning by decision. This guy's trying to finish his opponents. He's very good at finding good opportunities, even in fights where he's kind of down on the scorecards. He's beat some decent guys starting off in the UFC. I believe he beat James Blobtop, the guy that Mauricio Rufy couldn't finish on short notice. I understand it's different, but still, he did finish him. And his last fight, I think he won via KO. It was against Rongju. So he beat Rongju and James Blobtop. Two lightweights that have had pretty good performances recently and looked pretty good, like good futures in the division. Chris Padilla finished both of those guys as an underdog. And, you know, coming back from behind and being able to find good moments. I think this guy's experience and how active he is and his finishing instincts, I think that he's going to be getting kind of crafted up a little bit by Jai Herbert. Jai Herbert's going to be keeping the range, using his jab, moving away on the outside. I mean, this guy beat Rolando Bedoya. The blobby fucking guy that should be fighting at bantamweight, who's just walking towards you, kind of fainting. Like Rolando Bedoya just walks at you, bro. Kid had one good performance against Chaos Williams, and since then, he just walks towards you. Chris Padilla actually has finishing abilities, and I think at some point, he's going to rock Jai Herbert, who is very chinny. Like, I understand getting knocked out by Ilia Topuria doesn't mean you're chinny, but I'm just saying this guy has a lot of KO losses on his resume, and fights where he does get rocked. And I think that against Chris Padilla, at some point, he's going to get rocked. I'm going to say Chris Padilla jumps on a submission. I'm going to say Jai Herbert tries to wrestle a little bit too much, maybe gets rocked, or maybe gets, you know, slows down a little bit from the pace. I think Chris Padilla is going to get a submission in this fight. So my picks for the prelims, I got Chris Padilla. I'm picking Lona Kavanagh, but if Felipe dos Santos wins, I did say I think he's going to win, so I'm low-key going to get this one right regardless. I got Marcin Tybura. I got Christian Leroy Duncan, Shauna Bannon, Nathan Fletcher, Kutateladze as my picks. Let's move on to the main card. First fight of the night, we've got Nathaniel Wood versus Morgan Charriere. You know what, dude? I'm about to say this, man, and I know people are going to be mad. I don't care, dude. All right? When I'm picking European fighters against each other, it's literally like picking WMMA. Like, man, I wonder who's going to win this split decision. I wonder who's going to point fight a little bit better in this matchup. This is a cool fight, but I know that the outcome is a 29-28 split decision either way. I might as well flip a fucking coin because I can see Morgan Charriere winning at range, like using his kicks and shit like that, being a little bit dangerous, having some moments where he rocks Nathaniel Wood. You know what I mean? I could also see Nathaniel Wood like mixing up wrestling and, you know, outboxing Morgan Charriere. It's fucking 50-50. These guys are both number 17 ranked in the division, basically. Like, these are guys that I would pick to beat most other featherweights except for anyone in the top 15. Like, Dan Ige, you know, Giga Chikadze, I think beat both of these guys by unanimous decision. So it's really hard for me to kind of go, yeah, dude, 100%, I think this guy's better. I'm going to say Nathaniel Wood gets this one done by decision. I think he's just a little bit more experienced at the UFC level, and I think he's a little bit more well-rounded and able to make good decisions. I think that Nathaniel Wood has fought better competition as well. Like, he has wins over Andre Fili, Charles Jourdain, guys that when other people in the division beat them, dude, this guy's on a fucking run right now. Nathaniel Wood just beats them by unanimous decision on some prelims of a card, and you never hear from him again. So you compare that to Morgan Charriere that's beating like fucking Gabriel Miranda, dude. The fuck is that? You know? Morgan Charriere, all I've ever heard about Morgan Charriere is why did this guy get signed to the UFC but not Paul Hughes? Like, that was all I heard. So for me, my perception is kind of skewed. I'm leaning towards Nathaniel Wood by decision. Okay. Next fight on the card, we've got Jordan Vucenic, aura maxing hard with the fucking tattoos versus Chris Duncan. Again, might as well flip a fucking coin. I'm going to say Jordan Vucenic wins this one by... I'm going to say he wins this by submission, dude. I think Chris Duncan is a bit of a decision machine. He hasn't really fought the best competition in the UFC, and it's been very, very competitive. Jordan Vucenic jumped straight into the deep end against Kutateladze, who's very crafty, very high level in terms of the unranked section of the lightweight division. I would just say that is a better showcase than the wins Chris Duncan has against like Balaki OG. You know what I mean? Like I genuinely don't know who that guy is. I just saw him on Tapology when I was making my picks for this, and I wanted to sound like a hardcore. You know, that OG fight, man, that Olaji fight. Like, what did this guy fight? A fucking relative of KSI? I'm picking Jordan Vucenic to win this fight by submission, dude. I don't care though. All right. Featured fight of the card. Oh, never mind, not featured fight. Featured women's fight of the card. Molly McCann has a short notice replacement in Alexia Thainara. I believe the woman's name is, this young lady. I am picking this Brazilian roid monster woman. I think that Molly McCann is just a fucking midget, dude. And, you know, it would be one thing. You know who's on my mind right now? Bruna Brazil. Bruna Brazil fucking styled on Molly McCann, put on a fucking masterclass. I'm thinking, all right, dude, you know what? It's not that bad for Molly McCann, dude. This chick trains with the fighting nerds. She's pretty good. She's going to beat Wang Tong. Nope. Loses to Wang Tong dominantly. Sells my parlay, sells my prediction career on YouTube. And now I'm looking at Molly McCann going, bro, you lost to Julia Stoliarenko dominantly. You lost to fucking Erin Blanchfield dominantly. You lost to fucking Bruna Brazil dominantly. You had me thinking this chick's gonna be a future champion. That's how bad you got your ass whooped by Bruna Brazil. I think Alexa Thainara, she trains with Amanda Ribas. By the way, Amanda Ribas, if you're watching this, hola, ¿cómo estás? You know what I'm saying? That's what we do around here. I think Thainara is just younger, more dangerous, more explosive, not a midget with tiny reach, little T-Rex arms. And I think Molly McCann's just past it, bro. Like, she improved her grappling a little bit for the Belbita rematch, but it's fucking Diana Belbita, dude. I think Thainara is going to come in and just have one of these depressing, like, Molly McCann, this is the last thing I'll say about her, dude. She's kind of like an Anthony Smith of this division. She's just kind of like a female Anthony Smith. Like, some of these jobbers, she can beat them and finish them, but then when she fights anyone who's, like, physical and good and not dumb, she just ends up the most depressing fight of the night, where she's like crying in half guard. You're just like, oh god, just finish her. You know what I mean? I think Thainara is going to win a dominant decision. I just feel like this is going to be the end of Molly McCann's run in the UFC. Maybe I'm wrong. Like, she could definitely get a highlight reel finish. I think that's the only way McCann really wins these fights, is either get destroyed, get Anthony Smith, or pull off a fucking highlight reel finish. I think that Thainara is going to win this fight. You know, I'm not 100% confident, but I'm leaning Thainara. Featured fight of the card, we've got Gunnar Nelson versus Kevin Holland. Now, I am the Kevin Holland whisperer. You guys know this. People said, oh, dude, Kevin Holland's going to beat MVP. I said MVP's going to win. Kevin Holland's going to salt out and rage and fucking seethe, and he's going to make up excuses that he didn't even try. It's exactly what happened. I said Rainier Derrida's going to fucking bully this guy. That's exactly what happened. I said he's going to beat Michael Olejniczak because he's a jobber. It's exactly what happened. What am I feeling right now from Mr. 4570, Kevin Holland? You know what, dude? I'm picking Kevin Holland to win this fight. I think Gunnar Nelson is a bit of a trap fight here, bro, because Gunnar Nelson is a good grappler. He is decent at welterweight, but he's coming off a fucking 2-year layoff. And he doesn't have, Gunnar Nelson's beating jobbers at welterweight. And I think that Gunnar Nelson is not going to be ranked ever at 170 again. I think Kevin Holland can beat everybody that's, like, either a jobber or that only beats jobbers at 170. Like, he's beating Tim Means and Alex Morono and fucking Alex Oliveira. Like, these are the guys that he's beating. Santiago Ponzinibbio, perfect example of what I'm talking about. He's not a jobber, but he only beats jobbers in this division. I think Kevin Holland is going to be, like, awkward in this fight, and I think he's going to chin Gunnar Nelson at some point. Gunnar Nelson's extremely good at jiu-jitsu. If he gets down Kevin Holland, he will submit him, I'm sure. But I think that in this fight, Kevin Holland is going to have enough time on the feet against Gunnar Nelson to where he can land some fluky right hand. I think Gunnar Nelson is going to get slept in this fight. He's coming off a really long layoff. This guy spawns in every 2 years in March in the UK. That's the only time he considers fighting. is on the March UK event that they do every year. And I think that the huge layoff that he's had, he's 36 now. We have no idea what type of injuries he's been dealing with. Kevin Holland has been active, and he's coming down from 185. He usually does better at 170. Let's be real. Like, he has one hitter quitter type of power at 170 compared to 185. I think that his size, his power, his awkwardness, and the huge layoff for Gunnar Nelson, I'm going to say Kevin Holland flukes a right hand in this fight and gets a KO. Maybe round 2 or late round 1. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say Kevin Holland does end up out-grappled at the end of round 1, and then round 2 he flukes KO. I'm going to say Kevin Holland does pull off the upset here, all right? If he loses this, though, oh my fucking God, send this kid to the fucking PFL immediately, bro. Fuck that. Send him to the GFL, dude, all right? Co-main event, we've got Jan Blachowicz versus Carlos Ulberg. Let me just make this extremely clear, bro. I want Jan Blachowicz to win this fight. I don't know what it is about Carlos Ulberg that I don't like. I'm praying that Jan Blachowicz wins this fight. And I think that... Ooh, do I pick Jan Blachowicz? Oh, man. Nah, dude, nah. I can't. Jan Blachowicz is coming off a huge fucking layoff as well. Except we know he was really fucking injured. And he's just... I just think with age, Jan Blachowicz's style is going to get a little bit easier to beat. Like, the slower that he gets, the little bit more injury prone that he gets, the longer layoffs he has, the more rusty he gets every time he gets back in. I think Carlos Ulberg is going to be... And the fact that it's a 3-rounder is why I think Carlos Ulberg is going to be able to pull off a very close decision win. I think Ulberg's going to be able to be really, really fast on the outside. He's not going to get pinned down with the blitzes of Jan Blachowicz. I think he will get tagged up a little bit, especially in round 3. I think Ulberg will slow down a little bit from the trudging of Blachowicz, but I think in round 1 and 2, Ulberg's going to jab him up at range. He's going to be quick. He's going to be fast on his feet. Similar to what Rakic was able to do against Blachowicz before he tore his knee, he was able to kind of jab and get out, like go in and go out, and use speed and footwork to stay away from Jan Blachowicz. If you try and stand in front of Blachowicz and just kickbox with him, you will lose. Like Izzy, Pereira, like it's not easy to stand in front of Blachowicz and go 1-for-1 and be like a patient kickboxer with him. Ulberg is good at kind of like darting in, landing something, and then running away. And I think Ulberg's going to be quicker, younger, little bit like more just ready for this fight based on his activity and not having a huge layoff. I think Ulberg's going to win round 1 and 2 very closely on the judges' scorecards. I think this is going to be a 29-28 decision for Ulberg. I think round 3, though, Blachowicz will be able to blitz him with his combinations, like especially with his boxing combinations, maybe push Ulberg against the fence and clinch him a little bit in round 3. But I think that Ulberg's going to be able to win this fight by a very close decision because he does have that prospect plot armor as well. Like, I know the UFC wants this guy to be fighting for the belt, so I'm feeling like Ulberg's going to be able to pull off a decision here. I don't think he's going to be able to hurt Blachowicz that much. I think he will be able to tag him up with the jab, a couple of leg kicks at range. I do think the calf kicks of Blachowicz will be a factor against Ulberg. He was getting hit with them a lot by Da Eun Jung, but I think Blachowicz is just coming off a huge layoff, and it does worry me, so I'm going to pick Ulberg, all right? Main event. Fuck, man. This is like... I want both these guys to lose, bro. Like, bro, I don't want either of these two to fight for the belt. You guys know me. You know what I think about Leon Edwards. You know that I think he's extremely overrated. But that being said, if there's anyone more overrated than Leon Edwards in this division, it's fucking Sean Brady. I don't know I don't know who this guy knows at the UFC, who this guy's friends with. Please explain to me why Sean Brady is top 5 and why he's the favorite against Leon Edwards when he got TKO'd by Bilal Muhammad, he got his nose broken and outstruck by Michael fucking Chiesa. His best wins at welterweight. Let me read off this killer's row that this guy went through to get top 5 ranked above Joaquin Buckley, Ian Gary, and even at some, like, fucking higher than Carlos Prates. I mean, I get it higher than Prates, but, you know, especially Buckley and Gary. This guy's ranked above both those guys for beating Jake Matthews in the Apex, Michael Chiesa, Kelvin Gastelum, and fucking Gilbert Burns on a losing streak. And this guy is top 5 and he's favored against Leon Edwards. fuck you. I'm picking Leon Edwards by decision. I cannot stand Leon Edwards. He wins this fight. Sean Brady is going to pin this guy against the fence. He's going to try and blitz at him with his shitty little walking down boxing combinations. I think Leon Edwards is going to be able to hurt him in the clinch with knees to the body. I think he's going to land elbows on the break. I think he's going to teep kick Sean Brady to the body with his toes. I think he's going to leg kick the fuck out of Sean Brady. I think Leon Edwards is going to hurt Sean Brady with the hands out in the open. Like, they're going to clinch up, tie up. Leon Edwards is going to defend takedowns from this guy against the fence because that's the only takedown Sean Brady has. Belal Muhammad was able to pull Leon Edwards off the fence and get takedowns. He was able to run him down in the open. He is a much better boxer than Sean Brady. He switches stances better. He has better heart, probably better cardio. Sean Brady, he's not winning this fight, dude. This is going to be boring as fuck, by the way. Let me add that on top of this. This is going to be a boring main event. Leon Edwards is going to land better shots, defend the takedowns, control the wrists of Sean Brady, probably jump some stupid submission at some point, end up on bottom. But Leon Edwards has very good jiu-jitsu, very good wrestling. I don't think Sean Brady has the type of striking where he can rock Leon Edwards and actually outstrike him the way that Belal Muhammad could. Like, I think Leon Edwards is going to be able to hurt Sean Brady the way he was able to hurt Belal Muhammad at moments in their fight. And I just think that Leon Edwards is better. He's going to win this fight by decision. I'm going to say Leon Edwards wins this by 49-46 decision. I think Leon Edwards is going to win by unanimous decision. I think he's going to look pretty sharp, especially early on. I think he will slow down a little bit in round 4 and 5, but I think Leon Edwards will do enough to win this fight by pretty clear decision. I don't rate Sean Brady as a top 5 contender. My only downside is, like, I don't want Leon Edwards to fucking ask for a rematch, bro. Because I know Leon... yeah, bro, I'm gonna fight Belal, bro. I truly believe I deserve trilogy with Belal, bro. Let's fight everyone wants to see, bro. Like, 100%, bro. Yeah, come back, bring it back to UK, bro. That'd be a good fight, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to see this guy fight for the fucking belt again, but I know he's gonna beat Sean Brady. Hopefully Sean Brady dunks him at some point so we can get some sort of clip farming in the corner. Like, come on, Leon. You gotta stop fucking around, Leon. Stop jumping the fucking triangle, man. What you doing, son? But outside of that, I think Leon Edwards is going to piece this guy up. I think he's going to defend his takedowns against the fence. And I think that this is going to be one of those fights where people go, damn, Belal Muhammad is actually really good. I think that's going to be the takeaway from this fight. Leon Edwards is going to do his usual thing. Just a technical decision, stomping the legs, landing hooks on the break, elbows in close, knees to the body, defending takedowns, reversing position, controlling Brady against the fence. It's just going to be classic Leon. But I think this is going to prove just how good my GOAT, Belal, remember the name Muhammad is. But these are my predictions. Let me know yours in the comments down below. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, go follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Bedtime MMA. And I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye, man.